Hello. Let's see, we get some background light. You would think I'm doing this for what? I don't know. I know well over a month now. Let me see. I think just as long as I've been doing my book club for Atomic Habits. So that's been what, 6 weeks? You would think I would remember. Hey PGA, how are you? What's going on? Hopefully you can hear me. Can you give me a one in the chat? Make sure that you can hear me. Or just say I can hear you. And of course my eyes started running. Oh, this thing on the tonight. I don't like it that way either. Let me see if that's better. Can you hear me? Okay. Awesome. 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 Thank you. Thank you. I always, before I start doing too much talking, like to know that I'm coming through with no issues. And maybe it was a delay in the chat. The chat be tripping sometime on YouTube lately. But how's everybody doing? Welcome to Same Ole Tee. Welcome to our Thursday live. Tell me something good. Am I too loud? Let me see. Oh no, I don't think I want to do that. Okay, maybe that's better. I don't know. I was just thinking, I said, I'll be struggling to even remember because I started scheduling the live so that people can be reminded that today, Thursday, and all that kind of stuff, and they can get notified. And I said, oh my God, every week I forget where to go back to just hit the scheduled live good. And so I said, oh my God, in a year from now, even 6 months from now, it's going to be so much better. Like, probably have a little intro and, things of that nature. Hello, basketball. How are you? So, you just got to go through it. You just got to go through it. You know, the only way you're going to get better or things will get better or get to a level of mastery is you have to do it, right? So that's how that go. And of course, the dogs will start as soon as they hear me talking. But anyway, hope everybody Thursday is going well. Today is the first day of May. Maybe I need to bring this up. My angle look a little crazy. Maybe that's better. Oh, I have allergies. I have allergies. And I didn't take my Zyrtec till later in the day. Mm-hmm. So sometimes my eyes cooperate, sometimes they don't. And sometimes if I put like certain oils and stuff, I started recently using castor oil. And so, if it kind of seep in my eyes, that'll get it activated too. So that's what it is, allergies and everything. So if you watch any of the other videos, any of the long form content, it is not uncommon to see me wiping my eyes. So that's what that is about. And also, you may or may not know, I have Bell's palsy, which means that the seventh cranial nerve, so the nerve that's responsible in your face for your eyebrows and blinking and smiling, um, something happened to it. They never was able to determine what was the root cause of it basically dysfunctioning. And so it caused one side of my face to basically become paralyzed. And so a lot of people don't notice it until I mention something. I obviously see it all the time, can, spot it in other people and things like that. Some people, like if it happens to like women when they pregnant, they can't get prednisone, which helps relieve that compression. You know, um, if that's the root cause, and so sometimes they're left with their face kind of contorted, like their mouth and things of that nature, and they eye is constantly watering. So it's probably a little bit of that as well as allergy. So even though I would say for the most part, probably a good 95% um, functionality back, but sometimes, it just kick up. Just kick up. All right, the word of Elijah. How are you? How are you? So that's what that's about, PGA. As if you are not new here, tell me something good Thursdays. We always like to start with wins for the week. So if you have any wins for the week since last Thursday, anything positive, even if it's something funny you like to share, or just positive, while you typing it in the chat, I will go ahead and share my wins. So as many of you all know, I'm in the midst of reading Atomic Habits, a book by James Clear. And it's a book basically helping you like understand the meaning behind habits, how to go about setting up habits, good habits, how to break bad habits and things like that, right? Just to get to that point, whatever it is that you need these habits for, as far as who you want to be. If you want to be a more financially savvy person, you need good habits to get you there. If you want to lose weight, if just want to be a more stay ready so you don't have to get ready type person. So one of the things he talked about is the importance of environment when it comes to your habits. And so I've always known that when your environment is kind of chaotic and cluttered, it do weigh on you mentally. So one thing that I started last week was making it a point that every Saturday, even if I had new patients at the clinic, after I'm done seeing them, I will take a bag of whatever to one of the places I plan to take it. So um, for certain things, I'll take it to Goodwill. For other items and things like that, I'll take it to a place called Wings. I don't know if you have a Wings in where you live, but Wings is basically like a thrift store that basically supports the Wings shelter for women and children. So I kind of think that's, a good thing. So not trying to be funny, but like things that I feel will sell well in Wings, I'll take them there. Things that I know Goodwill don't, they ain't that particular per se. They'll, take and sort and do all that. But every Saturday until everything has a place, excuse me, y'all, this juice I'm drinking got ginger in it, so it give me a little burpee. That for however many weeks it takes, because you end up when you start going through stuff, purging shoes, clothes, books, just whatever, you be like, I don't even wear this, or I haven't worn this in years, kind of thing. So it's like you have to ask yourself, do I really need it? And so last week I started this with going through mail. I have a bunch of little we call them Jules bags here in the Chicagoland area, or basically plastic grocery bags. I had several hidden in closets, right? Because I'm somebody who has to go through the mail. And reason why, I mean, one, just that's how I grew up and saw, grandparents doing it that way. Or I should say my grandma specifically. But there was a time I was like, okay, I'm about to go through all this mail. And I found a check. And it's like, it never fails, at least one to every 5 years, it's a random check that, I could end up throwing away. like recently. Who was that check from? Oh, a house I used to own. So I guess it was a class action suit or something like that. And I guess it was one of those you didn't have to do nothing. Like it was just by default. Like if you had a mortgage or whatever from this town to this town. I happened to just go through a stack of mail that was more recent, and it said, "Hey, we sent you a check on this day, da 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 da. You know, if you don't cash it by this time, you know, it'll be voided." They had sent that check like 6 months ago, and if I'm not mistaken, it was a nice little piece of change. So that's why I can't go. That's why I can't just throw it away. But where I live, they did, I guess, for Earth Day and spring break too, or spring cleanup. You know, we kind of thing. They did a big recycling thing, and you didn't have to pay depending on what you were trying to recycle. So you could do like electronics and things of that nature. And we had a couple of old laptops that we probably should have took, but knowing, you know, because of how I am, I'm like, we need to make sure them hard drives is wiped out first, you know, or just, you know. But we ain't powered them on. I know for a fact we ain't powered one of them on since I've been out of school, and that's been like almost 5 years. So anyway, I started last week. They let you bring 2 boxes or 2 paper bag full of whatever paper you wanted to be destroyed or whatever. So I took 2 huge filled to the brim paper bags, and it felt so good. So I already have stuff ready to go on Saturday. I have I think about 6 bags of things. So that's my win that I'm putting into action, um, the things that I'm reading in the book. So that's my big win for the week. And then also this morning the channel was at 818 real ones. So if you are not new to the channel, you know that's what we like to call our subs over here. So that was exciting. So my little experiment that I've been doing is working. I'm on maybe day 10 of the experiment. I will be sharing the full results once the 30 days is over. Let's see. What else? So anybody got any wins? Let me see. Okay, PGA said, well, I guess you gotta be fine because even that you mention it, it still doesn't look disfigured at all. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, most people can't notice it. It's it happened to me. I wasn't teaching, so I think I was 24. I think it was right before I became a teacher, and they couldn't figure it out. And so some of the cases, that's just what it is. Like, you know. So, but I got cleared. And then been fine. I did have a small little reoccurrence when I was like towards the end of nursing school, and I think because of this, I think and probably not realizing it caused me to have TMJ, basically, like they call it lockjaw, and so I guess maybe in my sleep or just during the stressful periods of nursing school, probably was clenching my teeth in my sleep and things like that. So they think that's what might have re-triggered it a little bit. So now if I find myself getting stressed out, I can feel my face kind of tightening up. So then I just like, okay, gotta let it go. But I keep it moving. I keep it moving. No, I do not teach high school. I used to be a teacher, PGA. Excuse me. I used to be a teacher. I became a nurse like 10 years ago. Yeah, because I'm 50. I became a nurse 10 years ago and a nurse practitioner almost 5 years ago. So, hmm and I never taught high school. For the most of my career, I taught middle school science most of my career. So, but what else? So, other thing I'm excited about, I think I mentioned it last week. I recently registered for an amazing, like, advanced course in gut health, microbiome. Right? We all probably hear about, oh, gut health, gut health, gut health, but we don't really know, what it all entails. And so, a lot of the issues that we have um, is because of what's going on or ain't going on in our guts. And so I'm taking this advanced course to, further my understanding and develop programs that I can integrate into what I already got going on in my wellness clinic. So I'm super excited about that um, because this kind of healthcare, more functional medicine, they like to, as they call it, is very it can really change a person's life, by getting their gut in order. So usually when people think gut health, they think, oh, only the issues like, stomach ache and constipation and, things of that nature. But gut health impact a lot of stuff, especially a lot of things with your metabolism, your hormones and things like that. So I'm excited to start that. But let me mention this now. We do our like class meetups on Thursday, and they start at 6 p.m. and supposed to go to 7. So we might have to push uh the live back to maybe 7:30. I see how people respond. If people, still willing to get on at 7:30 on a Thursday, then we'll, keep it on Thursday. If not, then we might have to move it to another day. Um, because the course is like 12 weeks long. So let's see. PGA said you can definitely go for 36 easy, but I know you've been there, done that. Plus, I like mature. Well, thank you. Yeah, a lot of people say I do not look 50, and I'll take that. I like to think that I have pretty decent genes, and also I do um, work to take care of my skin, and what's the saying? You're only as old as like you think you are, kind of thing. So I don't think my 50, or I don't think 50 now is like my grandparents' 50. Like I think about my grandparents. Like when I was born, my grandma who recently passed. When I was born, I think she was only like 44, and by that time she had what, three grandsons. So like, wait a minute. So yeah, so by the time I was going to kindergarten, she probably was maybe just turning 50, but in my head, she might as well have been 80 at the time, as a 5-year-old. So, you know, you got people out here still lifting weights and doing all kinds of stuff in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and 100s. So you can definitely help preserve yourself, or as I like to call it, age differently. Yeah, that's true. That black don't crack. That's what they say. Uh-huh. Yep. So what else? Did I have any more wins? Not so much. So sorry. The other thing that I'm gonna be doing, and I think I mentioned this last week, is the 75 soft. And that's where you exercise for 75 days straight for 45 minutes. One of those days per week can be like an active rest. So, maybe just a light walk or yoga or, just stretching. So 75 days. So on one hand, I'm excited. On the other hand, you got the devil in your ear like, oh, it's going to be hard. Oh, it's going to be this. Oh, it's going to be that. But this kind of ties into the book piece, that I know that if I just get it done before 9 a.m., the exercising part. Everything else, is no problem that you got to do, like the reading of the book. I don't think I'm gonna be doing the gallon of water that they suggest. That just seems like too much water for me. But I definitely will be doing between 64 and 80 because I kind of do that already. And I'm including some other little things. So I'm a little shiny. I put castor oil on my face. But I'm excited. I don't necessarily have, I would say, weight goals. It'd be nice. Like, I'm not gonna weigh myself. I may weigh myself like on day 25, then day 50, then day 75, just to kind of see where I'm at. But it would be nice that after 75 days, if my weight is between 165 and 170, and my fat percentage is under 30%. So, but right, the main thing is the consistency and the discipline. But if I can, hit those matrix, that'll be good too. So I got that coming up. Just a whole bunch of stuff. I always got something to do. So, all right, PGA said, but yeah, grandmas back in the day had more respect for themselves and their family. If they was 46 with grandkids, they would purposely buy a gray wig and grab a cane. Well, my grandma didn't have a gray wig or a cane. But no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it was a different time. Yeah, now, I mean, you look on Instagram, people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they out here trying to catch somebody. And it's like, to each his own. I think that's why, some of these like mother-daughter relationships be kind of messed up because, maybe the mom had the daughter a little younger, and it's a different time period. Cause my mom was 19 when she had me, but my mama always just been my mama. Like, even though she only 19 years older than me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just I think the mindset of the generations change. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, they out here. They still want to do their thing. So um, that's a big difference. So I wanted to talk about something. I thought TW would be on here today because I know that he loves talking about this particular kind of subject. And PGA, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you're not an ex Jehovah's Witness, are you? And I don't know who else is on here. I see it say 5, but I don't know who else is on here. So I don't think you are. I think you say you found me just from, I guess, YouTube saying, hey, this person is live. Because that would make a difference. Is there anybody in here that's XJW? Oh, okay. Hey, positive. Okay, you on here. So, what's today? Thursday? Was it Tuesday? No, was it yesterday? Yesterday. So yesterday I uploaded a video and it basically was dealing with how basically, I guess you could say, like the plight of Jehovah's Witness wives. And what that means is, or the perspective I came from is that when you get married, most people think it's just going to be the wife, the husband, God, right? That's what you usually will hear in, what the pastor or whoever's officiating, like in a religious setting. That's usually what you hear them say. And I want to say I've been to a few weddings, JW weddings. Even in the JW wedding world, they'll say that. But my video talked about how the wife don't know that it's a fourth string in that, cord. And that fourth string, for people who are not familiar with Jehovah's Witnesses, is called the elders. The elders, think of it like it's your panel of preachers, right? For like in a church, you might have the like a lead pastor, but then they have like associate pastors or whatever. So that's how you can look at the elders as, right? So in the video, I talked about a former friend's experience. She experienced some DV. I talked about um, some men, basically, having their marriages be in a kind of struggle area because they woke up from the religion, but the wife didn't. But it's like the elders are encouraging the wife to leave the husband just because he no longer want to be a JW. And then I shared the experience of an older sister who got duped basically by this younger guy who had become a Jehovah's Witness, and ended up having to like sell her house and move in with her kids just to kind of clear her name. So that's just giving you a little snippet of what the video was about. So it depending on if you've been with me, kind of from the beginning or for a while, I do a fair amount of like JW kind of related content, and then I do content about other stuff. So what I noticed today, or it just became super obvious today, is that I do not understand why so many Jehovah's Witnesses who appear to be active, at least mentally, right? And other religious, I would say Christians or like Hebrew Israelites, that kind of vibe. Why do so many of them come to XJW content and want to basically preach and convert in the comment section? I had a guy, I don't even know if he watched the video, and that'd be the thing. I don't even think these people watch the video, if not all the way through at all. And so he came into the comments and he was saying, what did he say? I forget what he said. But then when I don't necessarily agree with what they're saying, or I think what, they trying to be kind of preachy or converty, I'll just say, thanks for sharing your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and leave it at that. So he come back and he didn't like that response because he said, can you answer my question? Oh, that's what it was. He initially asked me, he said what he said or whatever, basically saying like, yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses, the only thing I agree with is that they, try to preach the word, and that's what I do. And he's like, I see that so many people, when they leave these kind of religions, they stop believing in God and this and that. So that's what I need to know. Like, are you saved or something like that, right? So then that's when I said, hey, thanks for sharing your thoughts. Thanks for watching. And I, kept it moving. And so he didn't like that. So then that's when he come back and said, can you answer my question? Like, are you a believer? So that ticked me off. But I always try to stay cool in the comments, right? So I basically told him, like, no disrespect, I don't see why you feel like I should have to answer you, and then I guess he realized, like, yeah, who are you, dude? Like, I don't even know you. Like, this is my first time seeing you on my channel. So like, you're not even a regular person who watch the content or, get on the lives and engage. So then he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can see how I came. But yeah, I still just need to know because I'm so passionate about Jesus and this, that, and the third. So I have to get out and let people know and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you sound like you know different than Jehovah's Witnesses. And then later on in the comments, that's basically what he said. I'm passionate just like the Jehovah's Witnesses. And it's like, why do these people come in XJW content? Because it's not just my channel. When I watch other people's stuff and you go through the comments, maybe you leaving a comment yourself, you see that these other, like I say, I think some of them are mentally in JWs, but maybe not physically in. But my thing is, why are you coming to this content to try to convert people? And then it's like, I was thinking, like, is it because they feel like, well, if you got duped before by becoming Jehovah's Witness, maybe I can dupe you into what I'm thinking. And then it made me think, like I said, first of all, who are you to try to make me tell you what I believe? The purpose of my JW content, heck, the purpose of anything that I put up here on the channel is just to provide insight. Maybe it may validate, especially the JW content, may validate a thought or a feeling a person might have had. Um, to inspire, encourage, make people laugh, educate. What I personally believe in regards to religion, spirituality, and things like that, in my opinion, is not important. Now, if we in the membership, and I'm gonna get that up, y'all. Give me to the rest of give me to the rest of May to get it up, because the next 2 weeks gonna be crazy. Because I'll have sister a lot of people. I got an advertisement going out to like over 10,000 households, so I anticipate getting an influx of new patients from that. So give me like at least to the last 2 weeks of May. But if we in a membership situation and we behind the wall and we having a conversation, that those are people who have, in my opinion, are invested in me and likewise. So if I decide to share, well, this is where I'm at per se, then that's on them. Then that's on me. But I'm not here to tell anybody whether they're XJW, whether they are current, JW. I like to think that I just present it as how I see it, just like how people was presenting it as they see it. Some channels really break down scriptures and dissect the doctrines, and I appreciate that because it was helpful as well. But that ain't how I'm not a Bible scholar. I don't necessarily have no desire, to dive extra deep into, religious books and things like that. So I enjoy looking at that content from those people. But I don't know, it was something about the way he said it just really bothered me, that you could be all the passionate you want, but it don't give you the right to demand somebody tell you something. I don't know. Am I wrong? Hey, C from DC. What y'all think? Was I wrong to let him know that I'm not telling you what I believe. I get what his intent probably was. You do what if you watch a fair amount of different XJW content, I ain't gonna even say it's a lot, but it's not uncommon to go to somebody's channel and watch content and they either have become an atheist or they are agnostic or they believe in a higher power, or they consider themselves a Christian, but they're not attached to a religion, right? They just believe that, hey, this is my own religion. I just follow the golden rules as Jesus said, and I just live my life according to how he lived his. You have that kind of XJW, and then you have the ones who have found a church that resonates with them. And, a lot of times I think most of them will go to like non-denominational, churches and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. It was a little triggering because then he, started talking about and making the comparison about Jehovah's Witnesses are passionate and so am I about the Lord and this, and that. It's like, okay, well, why are you trying to convert and preach in my comment section, sir? Start your own channel. And then he did have a YouTube channel. I go to see because I'm like, okay, is he talking about religion? He didn't have nothing about religion on his doggone YouTube channel. You know what he had on there? Like music sessions. I guess he's from, well, I ain't gonna say from, but he had like a lot of like go-go music, um music sessions. So I figure he must be like from the DMV because go-go was big there, you know? Just like, I don't know, it just got on my nerves. Do y'all think I was wrong? Or what's your thoughts? Oh my God, this juice is so good. It's spinach, ginger, pineapple, apple, and lemon. It's so good. But I ate dinner super early and now I'm like low key hungry. I kind of want a sandwich. I said it 3 times to my husband. He just said, "Oh, okay." TW. Oh my God, you didn't just miss my whole rant. I was waiting. I was waiting on you because I knew you love to talk about this. So let me. I wish it was like I could rewind it. Let me give you a quick version. So I don't know if you. I know you always tune in. Oh, you got to win. Okay, go ahead. Let's start with that. What's your win for the week? We're gonna let TW type it in, and then I'll recap what I was just saying because I know TW love these kind of conversations. Mm. Is the rest of y'all still there? Ain't nobody had no opinions about what I had just said. It's just me. Oh man. I'm just saying people are trip. I don't, yeah, maybe I don't know. Like being 50, I just feel like I ain't got to answer to nobody. Nobody. All right, TW said took out a no penalty 11-month CD at 4.1. All right. That is a win. That is a win. That's awesome. That is awesome. Let's see. Positive said, "It's your YouTube channel." I know, but I'm just like, I guess for me, why it was triggering because it was like he was demanding, and it's like, well, who are you? And it made me think about I must have watched it yesterday, or maybe I watched it today. Somebody were they interviewing XJW? Um, Lord, I can't remember, but um, they were talking about how Jehovah Witnesses will almost kind of demand that you look at your religion and scrutinize it, but then when people try to, flip the script, they don't like it. Um, and so, and then the dude ended up getting nasty because somebody did kind of come for him. Like, like basically she ain't got to tell you nothing. And, you over here trying to preach, pretty much in her comment section. And he had a real kind of nasty reply. I said, but here it is, just 2 comments above, you sitting up here acting like you Jesus' little brother. That's why I was just like, I can't with people. People is crazy. Let's see, savings account at Chase. Oh, absolutely. Savings accounts be like trash. The interest. No, ain't nothing wrong with that. That ain't a Debbie Downer. Not at all. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. Um, okay. Well, that's great. Yeah. Like a savings account, as far as trying to get any kind of interest, any money from the interest is it ain't even worth it. Yeah, money markets, high yield CDs, and things like that. That's the way to go. And of course, if you can do the CD and you got no penalty, so that's good. But it's like, yeah, if you know you ain't gonna touch a chunk of change, I definitely say put it in a CD. Oh, excuse me. You know, definitely. Well, that is a win. That is a awesome win, TW. So I'm gonna give you the short version of my rant. So yesterday, because TW, I don't know if you watch the long form videos. I know you always jump on the lives. So I had uploaded a video yesterday, and I basically was talking about how JW wives don't realize that the elders are going to be like the fourth member in their marriage, right? And gave like three examples, two of people I knew, or two people I know in real life, and then just an observation from looking at other YouTube channels. And so a guy who is not a ex-JW or current JW, at least according to what he wrote, came into the comment section and I can't, what did he say at first? I can't remember what he said. So he was saying something about like JWs and something. So then whatever he was saying, when stuff is a little too preachy or I feel like they got an underlying agenda or whatever, I'll just say something along the lines like, thanks for sharing. Um, thanks for watching. So whatever he had said initially, he didn't like that response. So then he came back and said, can you answer my question? Are you a believer? And so that ticked me off. So I said, hey, Melissa. The movie I quoted is Color Purple. I see nobody put that answer in there. So I said either people not watching to the end or people do not know that movie. But so TW, so he had asked that, so that kind of ticked me off. So then I said, no disrespect, but what, I don't owe that to you to tell you what I believe and why do you care so much? So then he responded like, oh, I apologize. I guess I did, kind of come at you, but basically, can you still answer the question? And so, what did I end up telling him? Now I didn't forget, y'all. But I basically end up leaving it at, hey, he was like, I just want to know because I'm so passionate about telling people about the Lord and this, and that. And I'm like, hey, that's good that you got passion and all this stuff. Best of luck, best wishes on your journey. But I'm telling people the Almighty, but I'm good over here. I'm good. And I don't have to tell you or anybody else what I believe, And so he's like, well, I guess you gave me the answer in a subtle way. Whatever, dude. Like, whatever. So he was like, I'm here if you ever want to talk. Who is you? I've never seen you. For all I know, this is your first time watching one of my videos. Like, who are you? So he just really got under my skin. So the question I had for tonight, because I know TW, you like these kind of conversations that we go into, but my question was, why do JWs and other Christian-like groups try to convert people in the chat, in the comment? He not the first one. I know he won't be the last. But it's just like so it made me think like with him and the ones who are, don't have no kind of JW affiliation. It's like, are you over here commenting because you think, oh, if this person once was a part of this organization, I can get them to, come and be a part of what I got going on. And it's like, the odds are, if people have come out of this organization, what's the saying? Trick me, fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you, trick me 2 times. I ain't gonna get tricked again. Y'all know how it go. But it just irritated me. All right, let's see, Melissa. So it was Color Purple. You only watched the color, and I'm talking about the original one, not the new one that came out about based off the play. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey's character said that. I know. That's what I told him, TW. I'm like, dude, I don't owe it to you to tell you who are you, number one. But what does it matter? What if I had said I'm an atheist? What was you gonna do? You was gonna continue to try to preach to me in the comments? Like, shut up. Like, why are you here on YouTube trying to convert people? Go out where the people are. Well, I guess he's saying the people are on YouTube. TW said, my beliefs are my beliefs. That's how I feel about it. And they are subject to change as I use my critical thinking on all things. That's how I feel. JW's probably count time online when they try to preach the XJW content. But I have said this before to the people who, who present as, Jehovah's Witnesses. I tell them like, hey, do the friends know that you over here watching this? Two, you not counting time over here. You over here watching all this JW content and then putting these comments in there and putting it on your sheet. I was just like, it's so irritating. It's so irritating. And then somebody, who was it? And I think I've seen this person before. I think they YouTube channel is CCTV, and they kind of lit into him. So then he got nasty back with them, and I'm thinking, but you Jesus little brother over here trying to convert people in a YouTube comment section, but you just got nasty with this person because they told you, hey, she ain't got to tell you nothing. Beat it. That's why people are so hypocritical. But I agree with you, TW. That's how I feel. Because when you like fully wake up, at least for me, when I fully woke up, you don't know what to believe, because then it made me start second guessing everything before JW. Growing up in the Baptist church, attending these Catholic schools, and even though the Catholic school stuff, I looked at it more like as an academic requirement. So even though I had to take these classes, I just was treating it like a class versus like, um, I can make application as far as a way of life. But yeah, when I woke up, it did make me question like everything that I knew prior to the JWs. But like you said, that was 8 years ago. Well, yeah, 8 years ago that I've been gone. Probably what, 7 years, probably woke. Because I can't remember. I can't remember if that's when I started like going down the YouTube rabbit hole with the XJW content. I can't remember now, so I might have only been technically all the way woke 7 years. But anyhow, how I felt, if you had asked me that question 7 years ago compared to asking me that question now, yeah, the answer is different. Why? Because I've grown. I've kind of completely shedded all that. I've done evaluation about this or that, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, just got on my nerves. Let's see. T, did you know of elders that were all about making money? I knew a few. Not necessarily in my congregation. Not necessarily at my congregation, but um, at another congregation. Yes. I don't know if you all ever heard of, it was an MLM, multi-level marketing company called 5links. Has anybody ever heard of that? 5links. I don't even think it's still around, but I'll wait and see if anybody heard of it. So 5links, if I'm not mistaken, they were supposed to be like telecom and this, and that. I think it was $500 to come in, and all the friends was jumping in because whoever brung it to them first had, like, went up the ranks. Not Five Guys. It was called Five Links. And that couple that was like up there, the husband was an elder, the wife was a pioneer. So they had a fresh market, right? They got these witnesses. So the witnesses was eating it up. So the real, obviously, it was multi-level marketing. So the way that you really, really made money was the recruiting, because it was $500 a pop to get in. And when I tell you, they was going crazy because they wanted to hit them ranks and get them bonuses and things like that. And when I used to see that, if anybody's ever watched any of my like beginning story, then y'all heard of Sister Sassy. Sister Sassy tried to get me in it because she got sucked into it. And I was like, no, I'm good. She was even willing to pay the $500 for me to get in, because by her bringing me in, like, of course it put her on a different whatever, because it was an MLM. And I said, no, that ain't my cup of tea. I don't want to do it. And so she was mad. But yeah, so stuff like that. And then that died down. And then, things of that nature. But not necessarily from just working like a 9 to 5 kind of thing. But with the MLM. Let's see, when I left the JWs 35 years ago, I was not fully mentally out. I knew the religion was not correct for me, but I thought if I ever had religion again, it would be the JWs. Yeah, I hear people say that kind of stuff all the time. Hey, Isaac, how are you? TW, there was no internet back then, so I did not know all the dirt. Of course, pyramid scheme. Yeah, it was a pyramid scheme. So when it came to like MLM stuff like that, I used to see like the money signs in their eyeballs, and it was so crazy because all those friends who joined them, when they weren't making the money, but because these people then built this big team, right, and they getting the money, and the people at the bottom, they not getting the money. Then it became like, oh, y'all, chasing riches, this and that. It's like, you joined, so you were chasing riches too, but you just mad they tapped all y'all first, and now you don't have nobody to tap. Just a mess. Positive said, I left because so much dirt came up across my office desk about several elders. They were not right. TW said, any JW selling those home water filters at crazy prices. I knew somebody. And she tried. I think there was $5,000 at that time, I think. But you know what I would do? So what she started doing was she would sell, was it a gallon or 5 gallon? She would filter the water for you and sell it. So I would do that because it did seem to take out the aches and pains or whatever I had. But yeah, I was like, girl, you're not getting $5,000 from me. And by that time, I was fully aware of like what an MLM was, Yep. We all knew somebody. Yeah. I was like, I help you out by, buying these 5 gallons of filtered water from you. But, I think she was charging maybe $20. It was just me. It was cool. But yeah, I didn't really know MLMs. Now I know that. Well, I guess you could say technically Avon, Mary Kay. I think probably Mary Kay more than Avon. But I guess you can build a team on Avon, but in this day and age, I'm surprised Avon is still even up and moving. Kind of the same thing with Mary Kay, but you know, uh, okay. Yeah, I am so sorry. I sat up here and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna drink my juice while I'm on live," and this ginger got me burping. Sorry. How I view elders as an MS stuck in a rut. I don't know what that means. TW. What does that mean? Oh, or are you saying how you view elders as a ministerial servant stuck in a rut? Is that what that meant? Yeah. What y'all eat for dinner? I ate my dinner early. We had leftovers, and now I'm like low key hungry. So I don't know. And Mr. Pepper in here being nosy. You want to come say hello? Come here with your little stinky self. Oh, your feet wet. You, I don't know if I want to pick you up. Your feet wet. Say hi. Don't look at me. If you talking about okay, your feet wet, you getting my pants wet. Go ahead. Um, Talk about a Velcro dog. He is Velcro. You had a turkey burger. Sorry guys. If if Pepper could jump into my skin, he would. Thank you. Oh, Maltese. Yeah, Malteses are cute. He's a Shih Tzu. I got him from my aunt and uncle. They just was like, we kind of want to be free. He a good boy. He's sweet. He has declared women to be his people. I'm the only woman in this house, and I am his person. Am I your person, Pepper? Oh, okay, Melissa. Yeah, my other dog, the one that we had before. Wait, I see some more. Let me go back. I feel like I missed something. Okay. Oh, I see. Um, so TW was saying that he viewed them as stuck, and he was a ministerial servant before he walked. I hear a lot of people, a lot of men saying that, like they had quote unquote, privileges, and they just was like, I can't do this. Um, Pam had a turkey burger. Hi, Sierra. She said, I love your channel. I'm also a struggling JW. My family said they won't speak to me if I leave. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sierra. And I'm so sorry that that's the situation. All right, Pam. See you later. That's true. That's true, Positive. Positive says, Sierra Harris, if you leave, you will be okay. And so do your family know that you like have doubts for them to say that, or is this something that you just heard them saying, like, oh, if anybody ever in the family left, we wouldn't talk to them? Let's see, TW, I was anointed to leave. The feeling came upon me. You a mess. I know, right? I watched the interview today. Man, that thing was good. It was spinach, pineapple, apple, ginger, and lemon. Probably could have put a little bit more water in it, but because it was sweet, but it was good. Oh yeah, so an interview, Lord, what was their name? Fran and I can't Fran and Joe and Fran. So JW Diaries. Why can't I think of his name? Justin. JW Diaries is the channel. The guy whose channel it is, his name is Justin. I'm almost positive that's his name. And he interviewed them. So they're a married couple, and yeah, I think so. Yeah. Right. They had left after 30 years. Yeah, Justin is awesome. He does a really great job. I remember like, when he first loaded those first few videos and stuff, I was just like, oh, another one, another person. And not to sound like racist or anything like that, but for me as a Black person, seeing other people who looked like me sharing they story, I don't know, it was just kind of confirming. So not trying to make it a black white type thing, but when you saw more people like you speaking out, it just, I don't know, it just kind of confirmed for me like, okay, I'm not crazy. Yes, positive. That's what I was kind of getting to. So the interview was Joe and Fran. They left after 30 years. I believe they have 4 children. And go watch it. Go support Justin's channel. I did it while I was listening to it while I was juicing. And I think they got 4 kids. And all 4 of their kids are shunning them. And so they kind of went on a mission to be a support to any XJW who just needs a listening ear. So they literally give out their personal number. Like, you ain't got to get on a calendar and book a call or nothing like that. And it was such a great interview. They remind me of the type of people I could just sit and listen to all day long. It was such a this was my first time hearing about them. So they had a lot of stuff going on, but it's just with the the notion of trying to help people. Because I was talking, who was I talking to? I can't remember. I was talking to somebody. It might have been. I'm coming up on an interview. I'll share that information once she tells me that she gonna post it. I'll share it. And so we were talking like outside of recording, and like I know that my situation was unique. So my husband kept saying for a long time, way before I finally pulled the trigger and did it, but he was saying, you need to do a channel. He said, because I guarantee you, he's like, it's not going to be a lot of people like you. Somebody who came in as a good and grown adult, people are going to find, that story interesting. And and it's been true. People are just kind of blown away, like, how did this happen kind of thing, But going back to Sierra, if she's still on here, go to JW Diaries. I think it's his most recent upload. Listen to it if you feel compelled, and you feel like you need a listening ear, give them a call. They seem to be in tune with a lot of like resources for people, because their whole mission is to have people feel supported, and that, like Positive said, you will be okay. You just got to find like your tribe. Like, I even been thinking I'm nobody's life coach, even though my friends and family call me Iyanla, because I give good solid direction, advice in helping people kind of fix their life. But I even thought about maybe offering a clarity call. If people just need clarity about, okay, I'm out, I'm taking a stance, I'm not, gonna let shunning or whatever hold me back, and just need some direction in regards to the life after JW. Not so much, with shunning, but just practical stuff. Like, I'm thinking about doing this. Should I, take a course? Should I do this? That kind of thing. Because I am pretty good with helping with that. But yeah, Sierra, if you're still on here, um, definitely go and watch that channel. I didn't write down the number, but they give out their personal number. Okay, I'm like, what is this moving over here? It's these pickleball rackets. Let's see. Positive said they gave out their personal number so you can call them and talk. Yes, if Sierra's still on here. Melissa said, "Yep, I saw the same video." Oh, okay, you saw it too. Melissa, your husband is right. LOL. Your story does help. Oh, thank you. T, your husband was right. Your experience is unique for XJWs that are not born in. It is. Thank you, TW. Melissa, I have been thinking of doing the whole disassociation letter thing. Let me tell you, I go back and forth with that, Melissa. And I think initially I was like, I ain't doing no letter. I ain't doing no letter because I had been baptized and I was a member of the Baptist church that I grew up in. They basically strong armed me into writing a letter, to my former church, right? And they was like, it's between you and Jehovah. Let me tell you something. Jehovah ain't nothing but the big boogeyman as far as the way they use it, right? It's nothing but the big boogeyman that's always watching. And so it was like, we won't know. We're not, making you give us a copy or anything like that. But Jehovah knows. Jehovah will know if you sent the letter or not. And reluctantly, I did send the letter. And it didn't feel good, but when you don't know any better, you just go along. And so with the whole disassociation playing into what they want yet again. So I was like, I ain't giving no letter, and things of that nature. But going back to what TW was saying, like even about like your beliefs and things like that, as you get older and the time go by, your thoughts change about stuff. And so when I look at people's videos and they talk about how submitting that letter kind of, gives them like they full power back, I'm like, I see that, so depending on the day, sometimes I'm just like, I'm not doing not one thing that I feel like plays into their hand, right? Like for them to be like, see, but then on the other side, it's like, yeah, I don't want them somewhere, I guess, counting me as just an inactive witness, either, to play up their numbers or whatever. But yeah, you gotta keep us in the loop what you end up deciding to do, Melissa. TW, I walked. I gave zero power to Watchtower and sent no letter. Forget them. I moved and never told them. I just was gone. TW, my motto: the governing body and elders are not my leader. Who is my leader? Me. I know that's right. Positive pathways. For me, no letter was needed because my questions, concerns about the religion organization could not be answered or addressed. Yeah. So, yeah. So I get it. Like I get why people do it, especially like when they like, this, that, and the third. Like kind of like what came up in the interview that I did this week is, I guess you could say that was kind of a win because, more people get to kind of hear my story and stuff like that once it's uploaded on the channel. Dang, I forget what I was gonna say in just that thought. Oh, so it was like me leaving. I guess you could say, I don't know, when people say doctrine, I guess it's more, you hear people talking about like 1914 and overlapping generations, things like that. I, yeah, I guess I left because of doctrine that didn't make sense too. Like, so why y'all, so y'all think I'm gonna let y'all give me a hard time because I'm saying I'm gonna marry this guy, you know? Um, no, I don't even want to do it no more. When my dad died, I definitely was not believing in the resurrection hope anymore because nothing in my spirit said that I'm gonna see him again as a young person, or blah blah blah. And it just spiraled in all the doubts, all the questions and things of that nature. But I think I just was like, yeah, I don't think this is as true as they paint it to be. And so I left too, and that's kind of how I felt too. um but I definitely see people who feel like I need to do a letter as a final fu, you know as a final like fu, and here's why. you know because it's so many, like, many documentaries and things like that, and that's what it'd be like. Those people, it's kind of like a final fu, because either they experience some stuff personally or just finding out about stuff. It's crazy though. It really is crazy. And yeah, like, I don't know, like, I assume I ain't disfellowshipped or they ain't said nothing about me. Cause like I say, I got two friends who still will, um, who still, y'all. You know what? Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. Um, cause everybody and their mama want to text me with the bull crap. So yeah. So Melissa, you let us know. You let us know. Melissa said, "I will. This is a hard choice to make." Yeah, yeah. I feel like make the choice that brings you the greatest peace. You know. So right now, I'm not gonna play into they what they will want. Like, no, they don't necessarily want I feel like they don't want, obviously they don't want to receive those letters, right? Because I mean they gotta take you out of their number, if that makes sense, right? But um how do I want to say that? But for some people, writing that letter, it's not about them, it's about the person, right? Getting that healing and things of that nature. Just like in therapy, right? um I'm not a therapist. I do have a sister law client who is one, and she's talked about it. And then I have friends and family who have gone to therapy for a little bit, more so with grief and guilt. And in all these situations, with these therapists, a lot of times they end up having the client write a letter to, whatever, whether it's a person or, whatever the situation is. And every single person, when they wrote that letter, right, and said everything they needed to say to whoever or whatever, it's like it went away. They didn't need to continue with the therapy because they would have purged. So if that's what it's gonna do for you, Melissa, it's gonna help you have that purge and let go. Then I say go for it. You know. Let's see. TW said, I showed the elders my complete volume of Russell book studies in the scripture. I thought their eyes were going to pop out. Watch our history is like the Mormons, racist as hell. Oh my God. Man. I watch what is it called? Mormon Stories, the podcast. So I don't listen to them as much. I end up listening to Coats to Consciousness. So initially, a lot of her content was Mormon based, but now it's everything. Like, I didn't know that Islam has its sects that are very high control and things like that. It's so many out here, but every now and again, a good Mormon. ex Mormon come on, and it's wild. It's wild. And of course, I watch all the what's his name, Jeff Warren. I watch all that more extreme Mormon stuff. I'm a sucker for cults, and it's because as hard as it is to say, I used to be in one. Just call a thing a thing. Positive said, I remember the day two elders were sitting outside my house waiting for me. What? Because they wanted to have a judicial meeting. I called the police, stating two men were stalking me. I know that's right. Yes. Yes, I know that's right. Like, that's how I felt. Because my husband, he did ask, like, once the channel and the first three videos of my waking up story and everything started kind of getting some traction and things of that nature. And he's like, oh, what if, the people at the congregation, what if they find out? I said, I don't care. I really don't. Like, y'all not fooling with me now. But I did tell my husband, if I find out they, whatever, reading me off or whatever, from the platform and all that stuff, when I haven't been there over 8 years, I said, I'm going to get me a lawyer. Because at this point, and I think even Joe and Fran mentioned something like this. And I was like, okay, see, I ain't crazy. I'm out here living my life, doing whatever I want to do. So just like that, that guy earlier in my comments, I can do whatever I want to do, long as I don't violate the rules of YouTube with my content or whatever I'm saying. Like, if you don't like it, keep scrolling. Um, if any, and like I say, I don't know, because I do get a fair amount of my videos being shared. So I don't know if people sharing them with other people. I don't know if it's the people that know me, sharing it to show other people. It's like, I don't care. I'm good. Let me see. TW said, how my letter would look when I'm upset. Deal. You a mess. Oh, hi, Butterfly. Let's see. Butterfly said, in my opinion, writing a letter is an extension of their uncensoring control. The letter also allows them to label you as apostate. That's true. And we know what they think of them. Moreover, they will not read the letter. And you know what? Well, the part that you said about being labeled, I think that for me is why I was like, I ain't sending no letter. I'm not playing into their hands so that they can, paint a narrative of me. Like, I'm done. Paint the narrative that I left and I ain't come back. That's the only narrative you need. But you're right. They ain't gonna read it. They ain't gonna even read it. Let's see. Positive said, calling you or anyone that wants to leave the religion apostate is slander. Absolutely. Defamation of your character. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, we live here in America. Right now, we got the right, to say how we feel. And it is what it is. Just like, shoot, somebody could make content about my content. It is what it is, right? If you put yourself out here, that's what happens. That's what happens. So, yeah, that's some interesting stuff. What time is it? I done got so hungry. This is why it don't pay to eat early. Ugh. Let's see, TW said, if I ever gave out my personal number to an unknown public, there will be one major stipulation. Never ask me for money if that is your motive. Keep it moving. Yeah. And I don't think they said nothing negative about no negative experience about them sharing their private number. I didn't get the vibe like people calling like, oh, I can't pay my rent because I ain't a Jehovah's Witness no more kind of thing. I think it's really just the listening ear. They did say that they they work with therapists, they work with social workers. Like, and when I say work, meaning that like they're going and doing presentations and kind of letting them know, from a factual standpoint, what um, many of these people are experiencing. Because and what I'm learning is that it's quite a few ex-JWs who went back to school to become therapists specifically to help people in leaving high control like religions and things of that nature. So it's more than one way to make an impact. Let's see. Butterfly. The difference between a religion and a cult is what happens when you attempt to leave. Yes, I've heard people say that before. Right. Because when I technically left my Baptist church, my family didn't stop talking to me. They still went there. Friends, like nobody shunned me. They just was like, what's going on? I did find out from my mom that, people was asking like, why didn't you do something? Why did you? She's like, she grown. What was I going to do? Like put on punishment? Like I didn't like it, but that's my daughter. So I still, showed up to the baptism and things of that nature. But yeah, what could she do? I was good and grown, living on my own at that time. See, many nuts out here. It is. Um, yeah. So when I was listening to the interview, um, it sounds like it's just like phone support. Like they ain't necessarily welcoming strangers to their home. And that was something I even thought about. And I was like, should I do some content around this? Like I was thinking about like maybe doing like 5 crazy things that I knew I could never do. And so I don't know, I may end up doing some content, but one of them was, and I'm sure y'all all heard this about how like you've heard stories where, oh, it was a JW brother or sister who needed to, spend the night and they were going to have a layover in my town. So I opened up my home. And I remember thinking like, just because you were Jehovah's Witness, I'm supposed to trust you in my house? Nah. Mm-mm. And guess what? I wouldn't come to your house because I don't know you. Yeah, I never understood that. That and you supposed to die for your brothers and sisters. And I'm like, these folks in here lying on me and stabbing me in the back, but you think I'm supposed to die for them? Mm-mm, mm-mm. I can't do it. I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. Are we still there? YouTube don't want me to be great. I see somebody popped in. Y'all still there? The last thing I saw was TW saying butterfly 100%. Oh, okay. All right, there you go, Melissa. It's just that what was that last week? Was it last week or week before last or one of them days? YouTube did not want me to be great. Drink a little bit of water. Yes, it's a trip. It's a trip. So what y'all got planned for the weekend? It was decent here in the Chicagoland area. And then yesterday was a little cool, a little windy, but it wasn't rainy. Today it was rainy, cold, all the things. And it's going to be like this like the next 4 days. It's like, oh, this sucks. I cannot stand. I could deal with it being on the cool side. I am ready for summer to get here. I could deal with it being on the cool side. But it's like, can we at least have the sun out? Goodness. Excuse me. Wait a minute. from the rain from yesterday, positive. I think last week, out south got it pretty bad. Is that what you're talking about? Was it last week? I'm sorry about that. When I lived in the city, my basement would flood. I had done so much. I had got the flood control and all this stuff. You know, when my basement started flooding, when the city came and put these huge, huge terracotta uh drains or whatever in the street. After that, I never had a drop of backup water. Um, Melissa said, LOL, we don't want to talk about my weekend. That's coming up. TW raining all day today here in the Midwest. Yeah. Yeah. Positive said, getting my furnace and hot water tank fixed over one for the water. Oh my God. Today. Oh, really? See, where I'm in the northwest suburbs. And I think probably you told me you was out south one time. But we didn't get it heavy. We didn't get it heavy. Um, it was just more of the nagging kind of rain. Corner house. It's crazy, man. The way these houses, flooding and stuff. Um, the last comment I saw from UTW was raining all day today here in the Midwest, and then you said Melissa LOL. Did you say something else besides that? TW? Yeah, in the southwest suburbs. Yeah, I thought I remember you saying that. Melissa, my last name is Flood. Oh, wait a minute. So wait a minute. Did you had some flooding too, Melissa? Butterfly said, I live in DC. Tons of protests do the psycho in office. So we'll try to avoid crowds and turn inward this weekend. I hear you. Yeah, I saw they was kind of protesting, I think today, because was it today or yesterday was his 100 days in office? He said everything going on right now is because of Biden. And then you know what he said? The next 100 days is gonna be because of Biden too. What? I'm like, okay, we could almost give you a little bit of leeway, because it's just like when you start a new job, you're inheriting blah 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 blah, right? We'll just play along, right? So we could have maybe gave you a little bit of okay, this might be some leftover from Biden, which we all know it ain't. But it's like, but then when you already telling us that the next 100 days is gonna be worse, but it ain't because of me, because of Biden. Oh my goodness. Yeah, butterfly. I agree. I did not vote. Was was that nut job? Mm-hmm. Melissa, no, I had no flood. I live in the Poconos, but my last name really is Flood. Oh, okay. Typos. Here it is. I did not vote for that nut job. Oh, okay. Got you. Melissa. Yeah. Oh man. Well, what do I have planned? I do have one new patient tomorrow. Uh, so and she found us off of Google, which I'm always excited about because I don't do the sponsored posts. Like if you ever went on Google and you notice like at the top in small print it'll say sponsored, and so you might have one, two, maybe three like sponsored companies or whatever, but then under that, be like the rest of the results. So I've never done a sponsored post on Google, but just from the sheer positive Google reviews that we have from our real patients, has pushed me to the top without, I'm right at the top, like within the first, I think 1 to 3 results, depending on what you put into the Google search, that's not sponsored. So excited about that. And anytime I get somebody who's not a referral, not that, I mean, referrals is how I built my business. From my very first patient, probably every nurse, every surgical tech, um, every person that works like at a nursing home, I could probably trace back to that very first patient. The very first patient. So word of mouth is a beautiful thing. But being consistent with getting those genuine reviews, like I don't ask people to review until they kind of hit a certain weight loss or things of that nature. Um, because I just want it to be more authentic. I know some people be like, "Can you give a 5-star review?" It's like y'all just met. They ain't even had a chance to kind of work this thing out and see how they feel about you. So what else? Then Saturday is, if y'all wasn't on earlier, every Saturday, starting last Saturday, I will be taking something to Goodwill or Wings or some type of decluttering, depurge activity. And so I already have like six to eight bags of stuff that's gonna go out. So Saturday I'll be doing that. If I don't get no new patients, even if I get new patients, I'll still do that. And then Sunday I got a birthday party too for a family member. And the next 2 weeks will be busy because I'll be back doing sister locks. My I did some marketing that's gonna hit like 10 to 20,000 households in my area. So anticipate that I'll be busy, but it's a good busy. Let's see, butterfly. She said, "Oh, TW said, T, there are many XJWs that did vote for him. If you listen to their videos, it comes through." Really? You know what? Maybe I don't venture into those ones because. All right, let's talk about it a little bit. So what's interesting, like obviously we see a lot of people coming forward and they like, I regret my decision, this, and that. So in my opinion, based on the people that I see now saying that they regret it, right? People who like, I'm no longer MAGA and things of that nature. I think it's because they thought because of their skin color that the whatever changes he was saying he was coming and making day one wasn't going to impact them. And they just thought, okay, it's just going to impact the black and the brown people. And these corporations are realizing that, black people make your bottom line, black, right? Get you out the red. And so with so many black people taking a stance and being less of consumers and not, shopping like they once was at certain stores and things like that, they feeling it and they seeing it. So it's so interesting, that notion, what they call it, like the grave you digging for me, make sure you dig one for yourself, because while you so busy over here kind of thinking, you gonna hurt me, in turn you're hurting yourself. And that's what they finding out. What they say, they effing around and finding out. Thank you, butterfly. Let's see, Amazon does the same thing. Product arrives and they seek a review straight away. I don't think so. Yeah, they do that all the time. They do that all the time. And one thing I will say that I like, because I'm gonna be honest, it's a few things that I get on subscription for the dogs from Amazon. It just makes it more, convenient. So I do still have that little order coming through. But when I'm looking for something new, like with Pepper, his anxiety so bad. I'm like, okay, we gotta do something because I can't sleep with no whining dog, And so we was doing the melatonin and the calming collars, and as I'm looking for what's the best, looking at the reviews, they have a little thing now on there that says review from free product. Well, I don't want to hear what you got to say. Because you got this for free. Not to say that somebody who gets something for free can't give you a good, honest review. But if all the free reviews say 5, but then when you finally find some that don't have the free thing on it, they giving it a 2 or 3. It's like, beat it. But yeah, Amazon good for that. It's like, I ain't even had a chance to use this, and you already asking me for a review, a 5-star review at that. I've gotten things in the past from Amazon, and the company will have like in the box, give us a 5-star review and get, $10 Amazon gift card. So that's why I say, I don't even ask people until they've reached a certain milestone. One, because yeah, it looks good, but now they can speak and do their review from an honest place, right? And I don't have to coach them. People go in and they say their true experience. Oh, she's very knowledgeable, or the plan is flexible, or it's affordable. Like whatever they end up saying. Melissa, what you mean regret what? I must have missed something, or maybe some stuff not coming through. So the last two chats is Melissa saying regret what, and TW had the word made. So I don't know. Oh, I hope we didn't get stuck. I thought I just seen somebody come in, so at least when I see people coming in, I feel like it ain't stuck. Or are y'all typing? Can I help you? Okay, there we go. Some of our comments are being blocked if they. Yes, that's what's going on. Okay. Yes. You know what, TW? Remember we had this situation before? So we had to come up with code words. Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember we had that situation? I forget what we was talking about. But clearly, whatever we was talking about, it didn't like. So, well, I guess we'll get off of that. Yeah, it. They didn't like that. So, well, guys, we've been on here hour and a half. I know y'all gotta get y'all. Yeah, we definitely gotta come up with some code words, because that's what's happening. Mm-hmm. Um. Oh Lord, you stretching. I'm gonna go find me something to eat. I ain't got a little hungry. Sometime I'll make me a yogurt bowl. I want something hot. Something hot. Yeah, dinner time. Oh, Melissa, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I will tell you all this. I do plan to get on live tomorrow. So, but it'll probably be in the afternoon. So if you available, come by and say hi. That's the plan. Cause like I told y'all, I'm doing this little project. I probably will end up making a video about it. For people who, of a certain age, who, might want to try some YouTube tips and hacks. So just something that I'm trying. Let's see. Butterfly came in late, but so happy I was able to join. Yes, we glad you was able to join. So if y'all like, I usually try to do it the same night. I'll like upload it or whatever and release it to the public, like the people who wasn't able to come on live, want to come in and check. Um, so if y'all want to hear, people's wins and the other stuff that we was chatting about prior to when you was able to get on, it'll be available. But like always, I had a great time. Oh, one thing I do want to mention, the gut health course that I'm taking. We do like group Zoom on Thursdays, which I plan to start my 12-week session next Thursday. So we may have to push Tell Me Something Good Thursdays to 7:30 Central Standard Time, which will be 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I hope that's okay. I know it's like 30 minutes later, but I'd rather keep it to Thursdays and push it back just in case the Zoom uh, group thing go over a little bit. So just a little heads up about that. So I'll make sure because I hope people find the community post that I do on Thursdays helpful, and then I figured out how to show that I'll be going live at a certain time and like schedule it. And I think when you have it scheduled, it'll give a button to say notify me. So then it's like you get a reminder that you know she live kind of thing. I'm trying to listen to what these dogs are doing. Um, so just a little heads up. I know we all in different parts of America. So let's see. Melissa said, I appreciate anytime you are on. Oh, thank you. I find them very helpful. That's good. Yeah, we have a good time over here. We have a good time over here. We talk about some of everything. Now we know we can't talk about you know who until we come up with some code words for that. Because they try to stop our flow. But I hope everybody have a good night. Like I said, I do plan to jump on here probably in the afternoon, probably after my new patient, since I'll be at the clinic. We'll see. If not, maybe in the evening. But it's my plan based on my little 30-day run that I'm doing. Um, well, I can tell y'all because y'all my people. So I decided to do like a 30-day run. That's just the terminology I'm using to get to 100K subs, real ones tried. So before I got on, I think I was at 818. So consistency has been key for me. I started this 30-day run for 1K subs April 21st. On that day, I had 793 subs. And then as of today, like I always look and see where the sub count is in the morning. And then this morning, it was at 818. So it's like, okay, I'm doing pretty good, averaging um, a couple a day. Um, yeah, I think I only had one day where I like lost a sub. Um, but yeah, like whatever I posted April 25th, I ended up getting 7 subs that day. So like yeah, each day I'm getting 2, 3 here, 2, 3 here. So I appreciate it. If it's anybody that y'all think would like, the content over here, whether it's the lives, whether it's the long form, the shorts, whether it's the JW content, being a woman of a certain age content, Gen X. Um, hey, tell them about the channel. Tell them to come over here and like and join us. We have a good time. So I appreciate y'all so much, and I do be looking forward to Thursdays. All right, TW said, T, how granular are your YouTube stats? So for the most part, last time I looked at that, I would say the bulk of age is like the greatest percentage is like between 35 and 65. I don't think it tells me like demographic as well, like majority, it'll just say America. So the good majority, like 95, 97% are people from America watching. And then I think maybe 2% UK, and then like other. Gender, it's last time I checked was about 55 female, 45 male, which was kind of surprising. Um, but you know what? A lot of guys will say, T, keep doing content, geared toward the ladies. And, the people who kind of say that, I've learned from watching their channel and things of that nature is because they're the husband that woke up, and they probably, hope that one day, maybe their wife will come across my content, or something like that, or what have you. So I think that has something to do with it. I don't think it tells me race, but I will look and see. TW. I would say, I don't know. Like the people who, in my observation, like if they have their picture, like their real picture on their profile, like when people comment, I would say I wouldn't be surprised if I have a pretty high, black uh sub count. But once I hit 800, and I don't know if this is new or had something to do with hitting 800, YouTube have it where you can go and see your subscribers. But it's like, some people got real pictures, some people got avatars, some people got, pictures of cats and dogs. Everybody, I think in order to comment, you're supposed to have a YouTube channel. But just because you have a channel, like my cousin, she watches the content, but she got a channel, but she don't have no content on it. You know what I mean? Like, I guess people who know they want to comment, they go ahead and sign up for the channel, I guess. But I think you can still comment without having a channel. But, I guess people, when they sign into the app, let's see. Butterfly. At the moment of commitment, the universe conspires to assist you. Yes, I agree. Melissa, we appreciate you as well. Oh, great insight. Thanks. Privacy is a thing these days. What you mean by that, TW? And then I'm going to get on off so everybody can go do their thing. Get ready for tomorrow. Photo is a thing these days. What you mean photo is a thing? You mean as far privacy? Oh, do you mean like why a lot of people don't use their real picture, like for their profile pic kind of thing? Yeah, just like what I realized. Somebody from the live helped me appreciate this. I didn't understand how when I go live, I'm just thinking, people who subscribe to the channel or something like that. But people was explaining to me that I guess anytime you go live, like I guess YouTube send it out to everybody, worldwide. Because I'm like, why am I getting people from India or Pakistan or this or that? And the first thing they ask you is like, well, where are you from? And it's like, well, hello to you too. And so I did notice that when I do go live, it'd be a little box that say, basically like, hey, you going live. So protect your privacy, and things of that nature. So, what was I watching? I was watching something and it was shown. I was watching, I can't think of the name, but it's on Netflix and it's about like kid YouTubers and how this mom, like, curated this whole situation with these kids and this and that. But basically they was kind of like low key in a cult, or whatever. but they were just showing how I did not know that you could buy subscribers on YouTube. Now I heard of people buying followers like on Instagram, but I was like, I didn't know. And so they were showing you how they like overseas, right? They just got like a room filled with just like cell phones and all this stuff. So I was like, oh, these are the bots. These are the bots. Because I never really understood how it was. So it's like they got a whole little setup. Yeah, exposing your true identity. Who knew? But I guess that's good. Many nosy people with time on their hands. If you are doing well, they really try to find out things about you. Oh, yeah, I agree. Quote is very good. Mm-hmm. Butterfly. Let's see. FYI, I have no channel I can comment. Yes, I'm very private also, hence my choice of name. Yeah. 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 Like, I had a commenter one time. He came into the live and he called me by like my first name, and I was just like, okay, So clearly, I feel like it was somebody like probably like a what they call like a ghost account, somebody that know me in real life, probably like a XJW or whatever. And my thing is, yeah, I don't mind if people know my name. Like it's okay. Now what I don't want to share per se, like openly like this, is like the name of my clinic and stuff, because I don't want people in the clinic on some wasting my time. Do you know what I mean? Or I don't know. I just feel like it's a what they call it, conflict of interest. But yeah, we live in a time and a space where people can find out your information and things like that. So a person knowing my first name is okay, but if if on here I go by T, then that's what it is. You know? Yeah, yeah. Which is smart. Which is smart. So, all right, y'all. Let me go see what I can eat and take my butt to bed, which I shouldn't be eating and going to bed, but I'm tired now, and I gotta get up and see this new patient. So, plan is to go live tomorrow, more than likely in the afternoon. If you're able to jump on, that'll be awesome. If not, I will definitely see y'all soon, one way or another, either some content or live. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful evening and a good weekend if I don't see you in the chat. All right? Peace, y'all.